16th, 2026, and I will call to order this meeting of the Alton, New Hampshire School Board with a roll call.
Mike Folan.
Eric Bordeaux.
Lauren Ferruccio.
Christy Wood.
Tim Broderick.
Matt Jazokis.
Janice Christian. Heidi Duford.
And one member, Ann Pierce, absent this evening, so you have a quorum. And now please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So once a year, the superintendent calls the meeting to order, and that is because it is time for your annual reorganization. So the first order of business is reorganization of the board for the coming year. Are there any nominations for a member of the board to serve as chair?
I make a motion to nominate Christy Wood as chair.
I'll second it.
I have a nomination and a second for Christy Wood to serve as board chair this coming year. Are there any other nominations?
I make a motion to nominate Eric Bordeaux as vice chair.
I'll second it.
So I have a motion and a second for Eric Bordeaux to serve as vice chair. Is there a nomination for secretary while we're at it?
Mike?
No, thank you. Trying to cut down.
So I'll make a motion to nominate Eric Bordeaux. No, it'd have to be you, Lauren Ferruccio,
Lauren.
as secretary. Okay.
Second.
And a second. So there's a motion seconded first for Christy Wood to serve as board chair, second for Eric Bordeaux to serve as vice chair, and then for Lauren Ferruccio to serve as secretary. Any discussion on any of these pending? I'm going to treat this as one vote as a slate, which, any objections to that?
No.
Obviously none. And no discussion. So all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Congratulations. It is your meeting, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Agenda review. I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the minutes for February 16th's meeting
Make a motion to approve the non-public minutes from February 16th.
and the regular.
And-
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll open public input for agenda items only. Seeing none, we will close public input and move on with informational items. School board committee assignments. I don't know if you guys had a chance to review.
I would
are
like
we-
to hop on the budget committee.
Okay.
I don't care if I just add on there.
And I would like to stay on that if, unless
Can
somebody
we have
else.
as many as we want on those?
It's-
Here, you develop the budget as a full board anyway.
Yeah.
So budget committee assignment comes into play at the JMA, where typically Alton has two and Barnstead has two. So I think if you wanted to add a third, it would be good form to invite Barnstead to do the same.
Gotcha.
And you
But-
would be my second for the town budget meetings, if I couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Big fun.
yes, I'm just warning you now.
Yep.
Buildings and grounds,
I can stay on that.
Yeah, I'd like to as well.
okay. Anybody for policy?
Do we have two people usually?
What we've been doing the last handful of years is each board puts one person on the policy committee. We try to just meet once a year in the fall, which is when new laws have been enacted and policy revision documents come out from the School Boards Association and our law firm. It's been Anne from this board. She's not here, so if nobody wants it, just give it to her. It's usually how it works. And Brandy from Barnstead. They've been doing it for like 3 years.
I think they can just
That's fine.
leave it.
Unless somebody loves policy and wants to get into policy. I'm not that person. It's never been my thing.
Okay. Negotiations, I believe we'll be working
You
out
do have
something
negotiations here
in
next
the
year.
fall.
Yes, you have
Right.
negotiations,
We'll
right?
start this fall though, for,
Yeah, typically the association due to bargain starts that process by sending the board a letter asking to open negotiations. I actually had a conversation with their state Association rep about maybe doing that early. And we'll see how they respond, because they're adults and they can do whatever they want.
Okay.
I'll do that
But
again.
typically, it's a fall activity, yeah.
Why you smile?
Fall activity.
You had so much fun the last time.
I know, that's why I was wondering if I could hop on that again, just because I did the high school one, just to kind of carry over and
Yeah.
then pass the
That's good.
torch after that. Y'all can have it.
You may have a high school one too to deal with. That vote's not done till Saturday.
Yeah, for Barnstead.
Yeah, so you guys might be back at it.
Thank you, Mike.
Well,
That
that's-
was
What
very,
kind of
that
attitude,
encouraged
Mr.
very
Bolin? What is-
endearing
Well,
comments you
You
just
know
made.
what? It's better to be fore,
Who invited him?
forewarned.
I nominate Mike to be on
I
that
also,
committee.
I've been doing this for 35 years. I know how to read the tea leaves.
Understood. Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the financial report. Heidi?
They're in really good shape. If you guys have any questions, we will have some fund balance at the end of the year. And I can come up with the reasons at a future meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Buildings and grounds reports. Looks like they're continuing to work on HVAC and heaters. The sound panels seem to be making progress. I've heard some good feedback on what was put in over break.
Yes. I do
So
think
it's
it makes
helping a little
difference.
bit.
Yes,
It'll be even better once we get them all in.
agreed.
Okay, cool. Excellent. All right. Special ed report from Pam. Looks like all great stuff. The screening dates, just for the record, kindergarten screening will be April 23rd and 24th. Preschool screening is May 13th, and child find screening is on May 20th. Okay. Janice,
February and March were incredibly busy for our students between Gunstock Mountains outreach, introducing our students to ice fishing for the first time in grades 5 and 6, Mountaineer Madness, which was quite a day, and Read Across America Week for our K-4 students. Certainly was a lot going on in this building, and exciting opportunities for our students. I think we had over 170 students skiing this year, which is the most ever for the program.
That's great.
Can't wait for next year
That
to
is
see if
great.
it expands beyond that. We'd like to thank all of our chaperones who participated in that, faculty and members of the Alton community, as well as advisors Melissa Kane and Danielle Durkee for their dedication to this program. Staff participated in various professional development opportunities, including a very crucial training with Alton Police Department for crisis management response. It was a great meeting. The staff were allowed to ask questions to Alton PD. It's just nice to have an open forum and let them have their questions answered. Our current enrollment is 427, with more on the way. I found out today that we will be enrolling a couple more this week, so we are growing still. Beyond that, we'd like to thank the members of the community and extend our gratitude for their generosity. Pub 23 for donating baked goods and hot chocolate for our winter carnival booth. Alton American Legion Post 72 providing time and space for a breakfast fundraiser for our 8th grade Washington DC trip. Shibley's at the pier for letting us use their water during winter carnival. Foster's Tavern for their upcoming bingo in the bay to benefit the DC trip, and the Alton Business Association for their continued support and collaboration. I also understand there are more fundraisers on the calendar as well for this very important trip that our students will be taking this year. Thank you to everyone in the community as well as within the Alton Central School.
thank you. Curriculum instruction and assessment, Matt?
Yes, so we continue our work on our 12 through K vertical alignment. A few weeks ago, our social studies 5 through 12 met, or excuse me, 5 through 9 with the department head up there. Math and science will be happening in early April. So that is continue to work. I linked a document there to kind of take a look at.
it's not just sitting down and going through curriculum, it's not sitting down, it's about building some relationships so that there's some smooth transitions. And so when these teams meet to talk, they've already built that relationship, and they can have those back and forth conversations without feeling like, oh, if I say the wrong thing, is that gonna be taken out of context? So they continue to work, and they spent some time at the last professional development day as well. And so we'll continue to work on that throughout the rest of this year into next year. Literacy Committee met in March. We are continuing a deep dive on the programs that were selected. There's 3. In addition to that, those members, the committee members, but also the teachers who have volunteered to pilot, went through some trainings. We're kicking off the pilot today, and it'll last over the next 7 to 8 weeks, depending on which module they're working on. So we'll continue that work. Our overall goal remains the same. We'll get the committee all together. We'll take a look at all the feedback, both from the committee, but also the piloting teachers and some feedback from kids, and then we'll make a recommendation to the board in June. Capturing kids' hearts, you heard me talk a little bit about that last month. Janice and I met with the ACS team reps who went to the flagship training. There was a 2-day training, and talked to them about what their experience was. It was shared sense that CKH is a strong fit for Alton Central. So on the March 10th PD day, we had a couple representatives from Capturing Kids' Hearts attend the professional development to talk a little bit about the sort of a global perspective of that process. We also had members from Alton Central who attended get up and speak to both ACS and BES on their experiences. It was I think from that perspective, people took it to heart, because there were a couple of people who would not want to get up in front of anybody and speak, never mind both faculties, and they felt strong enough to get up in front and do so. So we appreciate that. There'll be some more information in April as we continue to explore what this might look like here at Alton and Barnstead. Below, you'll see March 10th, Professional Development Day. The morning session, we focused on quality assessments, and everybody participated in assessments and that analysis protocol. So we had every teacher bring 5 assessments that they have either given or about to give. And we went through a tuning protocol, and then they broke off into groups. We had basically K through 12. So what was really interesting is you had teachers from the high school meeting with teachers from 1st, 2nd grade, and when they were looking at some of the assessments, they were like, what is this? This is how you teach reading? We're like, yeah. And then flip side of it, it was like, well, this is what physics is all about. Okay. So it was really good, though, because it really wasn't about necessarily the content. It was about what the assessment was doing and the rubric and things of that nature. So it was really a good day of just seeing people collaborating with one another. So so that was just sort of that's the overview of what we did. And then the afternoon, again, K through 8, we're doing scope and sequence work. And then the Literacy Committee and the piloting teachers worked together in terms of preparing for the pilot. So we'll be scheduling our April Professional Development Day with some similar breakout sessions.
Okay. I have a question about the vertical alignment.
Yep.
What's been the biggest struggle with the rubric building out, and like with the peer review? Has it been picking up, like going easier, or?
I think it's getting better. I think people are understanding that looking at it and really fine tuning it is really the process, because oftentimes as educators, right, we put down what we think it's gonna say, and then when we get the feedback from the kids or we look at the analysis, we're like, this isn't what I thought it was gonna be. And so getting over that stage that we can continue to fine tune it and not worry about getting that feedback on there. So I think people are becoming more and more understanding of why do we have the rubrics, why are we trying to create similar rubrics K through 12, again, adjusting it to the level, but understanding the reason behind that piece and how it ties directly into our standards.
Cool.
So,
Thank you.
work in progress, but I think people are coming to the table with good stuff to really start with, so that's a positive.
Great.
Yep.
Well, thank you to everybody who's doing that. Any
I
questions?
think that's really important, Matt. I know in the social studies, one of the biggest issues that they always had was aligning where to start that class, because you don't know where the other class ended. you know, and if we're all on the same page, it would really make things
And I
easier.
think part of that assessment protocol that we did, it opened some eyes on both ends, right? Because again, when you're a high school teacher, you don't always necessarily understand what it's like to be a first or second grade or a fifth grade teacher, but kind of seeing the things that they're doing. But on the other side of that, when we had one group that was looking at an algebra assessment, and they're like, that's what's being expected from our ninth graders? It's like, yes. And so that kind of turned some heads a little bit about, oh, that means we've got to start to ramp up our game down here, so. Yeah.
Plus, the depth of knowledge at the different levels
Yep.
changes, and that was another point that I tried to get across for years, is that, you know, I don't want to teach the same subject, but I do want to teach in a little more depth,
Yep.
rather than the breadth anymore, you know, the higher you go.
Yeah, and that's the idea of the priority standards, like, these are the must-haves, the ones that we know research-based tells us that this gives us the greatest impact, but not that the other standards are important as well, and we tie those in there, but we've got to make sure that we're hitting those priority
Yeah,
standards.
yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tim, superintendent's report.
Don't blink.
Okay.
Congratulations on your reelection, Mrs. Cruccio. And as you are all aware, all school-related warrant articles passed in Alton's annual elections, March 10th. We do have an annual meeting in Barnstead coming up this Saturday. Pessimists not allowed, Mr. Follen.
Realist. Prepare yourself for the worst, and
We're
you'll
gonna-
always be prepared.
We're gonna do great.
Eagle Boy Scout, I tell you, you know?
Following your discussion in February, I sent the proposed memorandum of agreement I had drafted, potentially between the Alton and Barnstead boards, regarding expanding that alternative online program to the younger grades, to Jim O'Shaughnessy to take a look at. So I'll bring you his feedback and any advice he has on that probably next month.
Okay.
And then finally, Heidi kind of passed over the bottom line of your current expenditure report. Now, this kind of a number in mid-March doesn't mean you're going to have this kind of money left at the end of the year, but it does suggest that there's going to be some dough. There's also going to be some unencumbered surplus at the high school this year. I'm pretty confident. So that doesn't mean you don't want to return funds to the town. The town will appreciate it when you do. It will lower the need for property taxes when taxes are set next November, and those are good things. At the same time, you have an opportunity to balance what I'm sure is your desire to send back as much money as you can with an opportunity to make some capital improvements. So from our capital plan, we have the last 4 unit heaters that still need to be done, which Heidi mentioned. We've had a vinyl floor out in the vinyl tile floor out where the art and music rooms are on that plan, just getting kicked out year after year for a long time. So we'll get a price on that. You don't have to make any decisions tonight. We have to bring you pricing before you can make decisions. Kevin Evans, since he got here when he hasn't been clearing snow, because he's had a lot of snow to move, has been taking a look at the condition of the roof surfaces, and he's putting together specifications for any repairs that he thinks would be helpful on the roofs of this building. And finally, he's just kind of, he's looking at a new building. He's kind of assessing what he sees here and seeing if there's anything else. So I think that by May, we would want to bring you a very specific list of things that could be done, along with pricing that we've procured, so that you can have an intelligent conversation about what makes sense. We can probably bring Kevin, so he can answer any technical questions you might have about the building condition and any of the kinds of things that we might propose. Just wanted to give you a heads up about that. I don't like showing up looking to have you make important decisions about spending considerable amounts of money on things if you don't know it's coming in advance. So this is sort of your advance warning that I think you're going to be seeing that this year, because your financial condition is going to be excellent at the end of this year.
How about academic stuff, what the kids might need? Can we get a list together maybe, Janice? and
Absolutely.
Prioritize it and let us know what you think would be,
Happy to do
because we should, really.
Yeah, some districts, and this is a little bit controversial, but this is a fact, that some districts, when they're in this position, they'll use a bunch of money to buy supplies out of the operating budget for next year. So let's say a district did that to the tune of, say, $100,000. So you take what might have been, say, $400,000 in surplus, it becomes $300,000 in surplus, and you close out the year. but now you've pre-purchased academic supplies, books, workbooks, stuff like that for the next year, which means you've already built in $100,000 of surplus for next year. And some districts have made a habit of this as a sort of an insulation against
Yeah,
a difficult year.
Hedge.
I would just, since working in New Hampshire for the last 7 years, I've come to appreciate that our taxpayers are looking for absolute transparency in how the budget works, which is one reason I'm talking about this so openly right now. There are some districts that do this. It hasn't been our practice. Because unless there's something extraordinary in terms of, the science department has always wanted something, in the middle school, for example, most of our academic needs should be covered in the operating budget. So we can look at that, though, spending a little bit of money now towards some of next year's needs.
And they still have money to spend, and that's what I do the next month, is I will work with the administrators, to see if they can make sure they have everything on their list, and if they need other things.
So having $700,000 left on the bottom line in the middle of March, there's never a universe where that means you're gonna have $700,000 left at the end of the year. That's not the case. But we also know we're not going to be underwater. We're gonna be in a pretty good spot.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I have an important non-public item for you.
Okay. Thank you. Action items. I have the 8th grade trip to Washington DC. The date of the trip is June 9th through the 11th. It was in the digital packet, but any questions? Geez, Sarah. Yeah, and then we can discuss it or ask questions if we need to.
I make a motion to approve the 8th grade DC trip for June 9th through the 11th.
Second.
Okay, any discussion or questions for anything? No? You good, Mike?
Yeah, and I'm glad you're going in June instead of school vacation week, because I've been there on my own, doing research in the Natural History Museum, and all of a sudden, oh my God,
It's overrun.
oh, it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nuts, so that's good.
Okay.
June's a much better time to go.
Cool.
Great.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Second agenda or action item is the fiscal year 26-27 school calendar. The draft.
So we introduced the topic last month. We have a very difficult situation around the start of the school year with a very late Labor Day this coming year. I know that starting before Labor Day is always controversial, so I would say you have another month if you want to kind of put on the table how you're all feeling and ask us to show you some options. We can do that. I'm not assuming I know what you're thinking. I just know that this could be a tricky year.
It feels like with it being such we would have a full week of school prior to Labor Day, that our hands kind of pushed for this scenario.
Always
I
look
mean-
at the back end.
Yeah, exactly.
And you could conceivably be in school till July 1st if we have a nasty
Right.
winter.
What is the P?
Primary day.
Oh, primary.
And that's what I did want to ask one thing about that traditional long Labor Day
Yeah.
weekend. If there's any consideration in doing a half day on that Friday, the 4th, or like for the families or the staff that have traditional. I know we're here to learn and not to take vacations, but
Yeah, no, I think it's actually a
That
great
might be-
point.
I like that.
Yeah, we have, yeah,
at least an early release on the
because that
4th.
primary changes the calendar.
It
It
does.
adds that day.
Yeah.
And I know not everybody's gonna have that primary day off,
You get that?
so it doesn't
You're taking that.
translate
people who
as a
travel.
long weekend
Right.
for some families.
I like that. I like this draft. I like that idea. So I'm happy with that.
If that would be, make the 4th an early release.
What's that we're gonna do, go an early release, is that what you guys wanna?
On the 4th, that Friday before Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, it's already down as a school day, right?
It is.
Yeah, okay, 'cause sometimes that's been,
Which it has not been because
Right.
it's been a 4-day weekend, but
Yeah.
the primary changed. it.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be, Yeah,
I imagine people would appreciate that, actually. That could be popular, yeah.
So,
So we'll bring that up tomorrow evening, or one of you can also, because
Okay.
we'll be talking about the high school calendar at the JMA meeting.
and it won't throw off our hours
We'll
too
be fine.
much.
I have
No,
a question.
we'll be fine.
This year, how, we've had snow days, but we haven't had blizzard bag days. Does that mean we're staying?
We were ready.
But,
We were.
but
We were, this last one, we
Very
couldn't
we
wait.
use our blizzard bags,
We're
but
still
are we
ready.
still getting out on the same day?
Yeah, so April is usually the month when I come and I say, after doing all the math, I propose this is the last day of school, and you vote that is the last day of school, and we make it official. I don't think we're going to need to extend the school year, though. My goal is always to find a way to not extend the school year. Nobody likes it. Not parents, not kids, not faculty.
any particular reason why we're not gonna go with that Friday, the 28th, as the first day for students? I'm just curious more
Friday
than
the
anything.
28th of August?
Yeah,
Only thinking that it was likely to be unpopular.
oh,
Right, with families. Like, people already don't love, and by the way, I respect our labor associations and all of our employees, but I'm thinking about families. The people who tend to have the loudest voices about school days in August are usually parents. That's who I hear it from the most. So that's all we're trying to get as September-y as possible.
well, yeah, my thinking was simply that we get all the bureaucratic stuff out of the way, so that come the 31st there, we're ready to go, you know? That's the only thing I'm thinking. I wasn't thinking about parents or teachers or faculty or anything. I was just thinking that
Right, have a good
we're
induction day.
up and running on the 30, we got a full week of school there. As it is, now the fourth's gonna be a half day. And
So-
so first day's gonna be the first day. I mean, so we're looking at 3 days of school, if you will.
It's an item, Mike, with new teacher orientation that Monday and then our 2 professional days that, I emailed the first draft calendar to the 6 presidents of our labor associations. I've received limited feedback, but that's an interesting question that maybe I could take to them.
I'm not gonna fall on a sword over it. I'm just saying, it's just something that jumps out at me as a
Taking
former
notes.
teacher, is that,
Yeah, I've mentioned that before too.
I
Like,
get
as
my-
a student, I like that. I like having a day or two before the weekend to like just get in there, meet everyone, see where all your
yeah, get
classes are.
yourself
But
organized.
we are going pretty far into August, so I understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
might
and
not
I
do
know,
that.
I know.
That's the only reason we didn't
Yeah,
do it, is
no,
because it
I
is
know,
so.
it's 6
Yeah,
of
it
one,
does
half
feel
dozen
out
of
there.
another, you know?
Yeah.
I do appreciate having, it looks like a slightly less number of teacher workshop days.
Should still
That-
be 5
Oh, okay.
total. The 2
It
of
just
them are in
seems-
August, so people, like parents and kids aren't
Yeah.
affected.
But like
So we have
during
3
the
on the
year, it
calendar.
seems like it's not as prevalent. I don't know. It's just me. But it helps us get out
Where is it?
a little bit better. Sorry, Matt.
I mean, we have the election in November, right?
The election
And-
days help.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
March, you
Right.
know, so those 2 are locked in every year and then,
Yeah.
so.
Okay. So do we wanna, we'll make a motion to accept the 26-27 school calendar draft with the addition of an early release day on September 4th?
And then I'll bring you feedback on the, I'll bring you feedback on the 28th
Yeah.
of August.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
we're
it's
gonna,
just-
we'll check all the math also
Just
one
an
last time
idea.
before we will, what we won't do, no matter what action you might take or not take tonight, we won't release a school calendar until we've checked
Yep.
everything.
Yeah.
The school calendars are great. No matter how many times you check them, there's an error. I don't know how it works, but that's how it works.
Okay.
It's my least favorite thing. I hate school calendars.
I've counted it up 12 times.
Yeah, it's always.
11 different numbers.
Do you wanna accept the draft and then we'll accept the final later?
Doesn't matter if you just want to
Or
make
you
it
just
final,
leave it?
yeah.
Either way, we
Okay.
know what you're looking for. We'll bring it to you in
right,
April and
we'll
hope
wait
that in
then.
April.
It's
So
like
here's
the
what I've
first
taken away that
read-through.
I think is the most important thing. You're not asking to see a calendar that starts after Labor Day. That's the most important thing we needed to know.
I think
Yeah.
We have a
No,
draft
that's
calendar
too
that we
far.
think can
Yeah.
work. We're gonna
Yeah.
fine tune it and tweak it and make
Yeah.
sure it's right for you for your next meeting.
Yep.
That'll
Okay.
work. That'll work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good, thanks.
Public input. We don't have any, so we'll close that. Future agenda items. Do you have anything to add?
School calendar.
Yep, just the other stuff. Last day of school.
And the last day of school. That's right. So we'll do, really, it's 2 calendar questions. It's next year's calendar,
It
and
always
it's
confuses us. when
doing
we
the
say
math on
something.
this year and seeing where we are to end the year. Yep. And those are both normal April things for us.
All right. Anything else? No? Okay, we'll move on to the non-public session of the meeting, make a motion to enter non-public under RSA 91-A:3, II, A, and C, personnel.
Second.
And a yes,
Yes.
Yes.
yes? Okay. Thank you.